Welcome students in your political science class. As you know, in the last video, we started our Indian Constitution at Work book, and the first chapter was Indian Constitution, Why and How. So we are doing now the second part of the chapter in this video, in which we will discuss the framing of the Constituent Assembly and what were the resolutions passed by the Constituent Assembly, what were the different principles adopted from the other constitution. So we are going to start this part. Composition of the Constituent Assembly. The number of members in the assembly was reduced to 299. Earlier its members were more, but after the partition of India, in independent India, the numbers of members in the assembly was 299. The constitution was adopted on 26 November 1949. It was started on 9 December 1946 but was completed on 26 November 1949. 284 members were actually present on 24 January 1950 and appended their signature to the constitution as finally passed. 284 members signed on it. The constitution came into force on 26 January 1950. We are celebrating this day as Republic Day. Why Indian Constitution was adopted on 26 January instead of 26 November 1949? Because there was one historical reason behind it. In December 1929, the Congress passed a resolution to celebrate 26 January 1930 as Puran Swaraj Day or Independence Day. So later on, when the constitution was ready on 26 November 1949, it was not implemented on that day. It was implemented on 26 January 1950. 2 months were awaited to make that day, 26 January 1930, as a red letter day, to make it an important day in the Indian history. So constitution was implemented on 26 January 1950. The members of all religion were given representation under the scheme described above. The assembly had 28 members from SC category, scheduled caste category. In terms of political party, the Congress dominated the assembly. Congress occupying how many seats? 82% of the seats in the assembly after the partition. So Congress itself was such a diverse party that it managed to accommodate almost all shades of opinion within it. So this was the composition of the Constituent Assembly. The principle of deliberation. After doing what was the composition of the Constituent Assembly and how the Constitution was framed, this process was going on. And the next part is the principle of deliberation. It is desirable that the diverse section of society participate. It is equally important they participate not only as representative of their own आइडेंटिटी और कम्युनिटी. जितने भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंट असेंबली में मेंबर्स थे, जितने भी डाइवर्स सेक्शन थे, उन्होंने पार्टिसिपेट किया. उन्होंने हर मुद्दे पे, हर विषय पे डेलिब्रेशन हुई उनमें और इक्वली पार्टिसिपेट किया. सारे ही जो मेंबर्स थे उन्होंने अपनी आइडेंटिटी और अपनी कम्युनिटी की उन्होंने परवाह नहीं की. Each member deliberated upon the constitution with the interest of the whole nation in mind. जितने भी मेंबर थे उन्होंने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में पूरी अच्छी तरह से वाद विवाद किया, बहस की और नेशन के इंटरेस्ट को सामने रखे. ठीक है कि उनमें कुछ डिसएग्रीमेंट भी हुए, कुछ बातों को लेकर डिसएग्रीमेंट्स भी थे कुछ मेंबर्स के अंदर, लेकिन उन सब डिसएग्रीमेंट्स को अगर हम देखें तो वो अपने इंटरेस्ट को प्रोटेक्ट नहीं करना चाहते थे, वो नेशन के इंटरेस्ट को प्रायोरिटी दे रहे थे। Procedures adopted in the Constituent Assembly. So, what was the procedures adopted in the Constituent Assembly when they framed the Constitution? The Constituent Assembly had 8 major communities on different subjects. Usually, what were the main leaders? Jawaharlal Nehru, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Patel, or B.R. Ambedkar. They chaired all these committees. How many committees were there? 8 major committees. And who were the heads of these committees? These prominent personalities like Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Patel, Jawaharlal Nehru, B.R. Ambedkar, all that. Sardar Patel and Nehru disagreed on many issues. But beside this, they worked together. They all worked together. The assembly met for 166 days. How many days? 166 days. There were the meeting of this assembly, and the time period in which the constitution was framed was 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. Almost 3 years. Its sessions were open to the press and public alike. Even press or public can attend the sessions of the Constituent Assembly. Inheritance of the nationalist movement. The nationalist movement had deliberated many questions that were relevant to the making of the Constitution. The nationalist movement had debate on many questions. There were debates. The shape, what were the main issues of the debate? The shape and form of the government India should have, the values it should uphold, the inequalities it should overcome, answers forged in those debates were given their final form in the Constitution. Means जब कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बना रही थी तो उस टाइम पे कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली में कई डिबेट हुए कई चीज़ों को लेकर। कुछ चीज़ें क्या थी कि कंट्री में जो गवर्नमेंट होगी इंडिपेंडेंट इंडिया की, उसकी शेप कैसे होगी, वो किस तरह की गवर्नमेंट होगी, वो कौन सी वैल्यूज़ को अपहोल्ड करेगी, कि जो समाज में असमानताएं हैं उनको कैसे ओवरकम किया जाएगा। तो जितने भी आर्ग्यूमेंट्स हुई उन आर्ग्यूमेंट्स और डिबेट्स के बाद जो फाइनल फॉर्म हुई उसी को कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में प्लेस दिया गया, उसी को कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में स्थान दिया गया, रखा गया उनको। द नेशनलिस्ट मूवमेंट brought to the Constituent Assembly is the objective resolution. The resolution that defined the aims of the Assembly moved by Nehru in 1946. Nationalist movement brought to the Constituent Assembly is the objective resolution. नेहरू ने 1946 में एक ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन लाया था नेशनलिस्ट मूवमेंट के दौरान कि जब इंडिया का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनेगा तो उसमें किन किन चीज़ों को स्थान दिया जाएगा। इसी रेजोल्यूशन के ऊपर बेस्ड होता हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में कुछ चीज़ों को, कुछ कमिटीज़ में इन चीज़ों को स्थान दिया गया। ये कुछ चीज़ें क्या थी? इक्वलिटी, लिबर्टी, डेमोक्रेसी, सॉवरेनिटी and a cosmopolitan identity. Thus, our constitution is not merely a maze of rules and procedure, but a moral commitment to establish a government that will fulfill the many promises that the nationalist movement held before the people. Means हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में ये नहीं था कि कुछ चीज़ों को सिर्फ लिख दिया या कुछ प्रिंसिपल्स को ऐड कर दिया, लिबर्टी, इक्वलिटी, डेमोक्रेसी, सॉवरेनिटी। नहीं, हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जो था ये नहीं था कि कुछ रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन ही लिखे जाएं, लेकिन कुछ बाकी चीज़ें जैसे मोरल कमिटमेंट कि हमारी गवर्नमेंट कैसे बनाई जाएगी, जो कि बहुत सारे प्रॉमिसेस जो नेशनल मूवमेंट के दौरान लीडर्स ने लोगों के साथ किए थे, उन प्रॉमिसेस को कैसे फुलफिल किया जाए ताकि लोगों की एस्पिरेशंस, लोगों की डिज़ायर्स, उनको भी पूरा किया जा सके। Resolution. So, what was the resolution passed in 1946? First one. Just see on your screen. India is an independent sovereign republic. इंडिया जो है वो इंडिपेंडेंट सॉवरेन मीन सुप्रीम पावर रिपब्लिक व्हेन द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ द कंट्री इज इलेक्टेड बाय। ये ऐसा इंडिया होगा। इंडिया शेल बी ए यूनियन ऑफ द ब्रिटिश इंडियन टेरिटरीज, इंडियन स्टेट एंड अदर पार्ट्स आउटसाइड ब्रिटिश इंडिया एंड इंडियन स्टेट्स as are willing to be a part of the union. You know, in India there is federal form of government. We will read all this in our next chapter. States are there, 28 states are there, union territories are there, 7 union territories are there. With that, central government is there. Territories forming the union shall be autonomous units and exercise all powers and functions of the government at administration, except those assigned to or vested in the union. Besides states, there will be union territories. They will be autonomous units and they will exercise all the powers and function of the government. They will run their administration except those powers which are vested or which are assigned to the union. All the powers and the authority of sovereign and independent India and its constitution shall flow from the people. Means all the sources of the constitution will be its people. You know, the Indian constitution starts with the preamble. What are the opening words of the preamble? We the people of India, हम भारत के लोग. So, what was the resolution? All people of India shall be guaranteed and secure social, economic and political justice, equality of status and opportunity, equality before law, fundamental freedom of speech, expression, belief, faith, worship, vocation, association and action subject to law and public morality. All these words are mentioned in the preamble of the Constitution. As I told you, the preamble means the introduction of the Constitution. What is given in the preamble? All people of India shall be given all type of justice, social, economic, political. Everyone will be given equality of status and opportunity. Everyone will be considered equal before law. And all type of freedom will be given to citizen. These freedom will be of speech, भाषण देने की, express अपने views करने की, belief, faith, worship, vocation, association. All these freedoms are given by the Indian Constitution. This is also mentioned in the preamble. The minority, backward, tribal area, all backward classes shall be provided adequate safeguard. The territorial integrity of the Republic and its sovereign rights on land, sea and air shall be maintained. According to justice and law of the civilized nation, the land would make full and willing contribution to the promotion of world peace and welfare of mankind. Not only about India, but the land India would make friendly relation with the other nations, with the countries of the world. India will promote world peace and welfare of the citizen. So all these are the resolution mentioned in the Constitution. Institutional arrangement. The Constituent Assembly spent a lot of time in on involving the right balance among the various institutions. As I told you, there are three organs: legislature, executive, judiciary, and there is parliamentary form of government in India. Federal arrangement is there. Parliamentary form of government. In this system, the parliament is supreme. In federal arrangement, the powers are distributed between center and state. So, government powers are distributed among legislature, executive on the other hand, between the state and the central government on the other hand. So, one arrangement is horizontal distribution of power among the three organs, which you read in your 10th class: legislature, executive, judiciary. And the second arrangement is the vertical distribution of power among the central government, state government, and local government. The makers of our constitution did not hesitate to learn from experiment and experience of other countries. And you know, our Indian constitution makers also borrowed something from the other constitution. The framers of the constitution were not averse to borrowing from other constitutional traditions. Each provision of the constitution had to be defended on ground that it was suited to the Indian problem and aspiration. In the next part, next slide, I will show you how different principles, different things we had borrowed from other countries. What are these principles? Just see. See on your screen. Provisions adopted from constitution of different country. First of all, see British Constitution. What things we had taken from British Constitution? First, past the post, this system. Second one, parliamentary form of government. Third, ideas of rule of law. Fourth, institution of the speaker and his or her role. Then law making procedures. ये सारी चीज़ें हमने ब्रिटिश कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से ली. इन सब की डिटेल हम अपने अगले चैप्टर्स में पढ़ेंगे. तो अगला जो यूएस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से हमने क्या लिया? नंबर 1, चार्टर ऑफ फंडामेंटल राइट, जो कि हमारा इसी बुक का सेकेंड चैप्टर है, फंडामेंटल राइट. हम उसमें इसकी पूरी डिटेल पढ़ेंगे जो कि हमने यूएसए से ली. एंड नेक्स्ट इज़ पावर ऑफ जुडिशियल रिव्यू एंड इंडिपेंडेंस ऑफ द जुडिशरी. ये भी हमने कहाँ से लिया? यूएसए के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से. आयरिश कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, आयरलैंड के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से हमने क्या लिया? आयरलैंड के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से हमने डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी लिए. ये भी हम इनकी डिटेल पढ़ेंगे. और फ्रांस के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से हमने कुछ आइडियाज़ लिए. बट आर दीज आइडिया? प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ लिबर्टी, इक्वालिटी एंड फ्रेटर्निटी. कनाडा के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से हमने क्या लिया? कनाडा के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से हमने क्वासी फेडरल फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ली, अ फेडरल सिस्टम इन विच द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट इज मोर स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड द आइडियाज़ ऑफ रेसिडुअल पावर्स. रेसिडुअल पावर्स क्या होती हैं, फेडरल गवर्नमेंट क्या है, डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स क्या है, फंडामेंटल राइट क्या है, पार्लियामेंट्री सिस्टम क्या है, रूल ऑफ लॉ क्या है. ऑल दिस वी विल रीड इन डिटेल in our next chapters. So in this way this chapter is complete. We completed the first chapter of this book, Indian Constitution at Work. So read the chapter, note down all the important points given in this video, and note down the questions. Assignment will be given to you. You have to fulfill or complete the assignment and send to me back in WhatsApp group. Thanks.